Thank you very much for waiting for us. So now we are back from Vrindavan. I went to Vrindavan for a few days, continued for a long time. I was not able to resume the class even after coming back to Mayapur because I had some other teaching assignment in Mayapur Institute. So anyway, we are back now. It's a very nice topic. We're going to resume today. Prayers by Queen Kunti. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः मदेकबन्धुमत्सङ्गेन मद्गुरो मन्महाधन मन्निस्तारकमद्भाग्य मदानन्दनमस्तुते असाधु साधुतादायिन् अतीनीच तारक आनमञ्च कदाचिन्मा ब्रह्मादित्कण्ठया स्फुरा श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभुनित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hare Krishna. So we are in Canto 1, Chapter 8, Prayers by Queen Kunti. We have seen how Krishna, after completing his task with the Pandavas, he wanted to go back to Dwarka, and the chariot was ready. Satyaki was also ready. Now, when Krishna was just about to board the chariot, that time Uttara came running towards him for protection. And Krishna, she prayed to Krishna, Pahi Pahi Mahajogin Deva Deva Jagatpate, Nanyatvadabhayam Paschet, Jatra Mrityu Parasparam. That's how she took shelter of Krishna, seeking protection, not for herself, but she was more concerned with the baby who was on her womb, being Parikshit. And Mother Kunti, she could see how Krishna, while standing before her, she also entered into the womb of Dara and protected the baby in her womb. That's how, overtaken by the display of the opulence of the Supreme Lord, she started offering prayers to Krishna. And she started with Namashi Purusham Tatyam. So she doesn't consider Krishna as a small child or her nephew. No, she has complete understanding about the personality of Godhead. That's why she Namashi Purusham Tatyam. You are Adi Purusha. So in that way, she came to a point where she glorified the good fortune of Vasudev, his brother, because Krishna was born of Vasudeva in the womb of Devaki. Then she says, even Devaki is more fortunate than Vasudeva. Then she keeps on describing about the good fortune of Yunanda Maharaj, better than Devaki. And finally, she glorified the good fortune of Yashoda. And then she concluded saying that even your dealings with the devotees in Vrindavan, such as the gopis, is beyond my comprehension. So in that way, she just wanted to offer obeisances to Krishna. And that's why she is saying that those who are jnanis, Amalatmanam, those who are done with the material life, don't have any attachment to this material world. Actually, you remain their property, and actually you give them the way for devotional service. You show them the path of devotional service. So in that way, how can I understand you? Means she's saying that those who simply try to understand the Supreme Lord by following the path of speculation, that means the path of jnana, they cannot understand you. Even those who are done with material life, if they take to the path of bhakti without taking shelter of your lotus feet, they will also not be able to know you. That's why I simply offer my obeisances unto you. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devakyandanaya Sandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namo. Then she says, Namaha Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajanghraye. So she says, my respectful obeisances unto you. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, and who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is so cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses. So here are some of the specific symbolical marks on the spiritual body of the personality of Godhead, which distinguish his body from the bodies of all others. They are all special features of the body of the Lord. The Lord may appear as one of us, but he is always distinct by his specific bodily features. So in that way, when Kunti Maharani says Namah Pankajanavhaya, Prabhupada explains that she has the complete understanding about the personality of Godhead. Therefore, when she says Pankajanavhaya, that means from whose navel the lotus sprouted. So in that way, Namah Pankajamaline, Prabhupada speaks in the purport about how the deity form of the Lord can be made by using different materials such as stone, wood, even earth, and then sometimes the form of the Lord can be painted or can be drawn on sandbed. So in that way, but at the same time, the Lord is decorated with the lotus flower garland. And when here Kunti Maharani is saying that your navel is like that of the uh, lotus flower, you always wear flower, lotus garland, your glance is also as cool as lotus. So when she is addressing all these limbs of the Lord with lotus means when a devotee of the Lord he looks at the different body of the Supreme Lord which represents the lotus, the devotee or the person in the material world who is tormented by the afflictions of this material world can attain peace and he will attain success in his life just by glancing on the transcendental body of the Supreme Lord. That's like we see, this lotus flower itself has a very beautiful uh, effect on the observer. When people just smell the fragrance, they get happiness. Just by looking a fully blown lotus flower, mind becomes happy from within. So similarly, when we see the body of the Supreme Lord, we experience the happiness. That's what she's trying to explain. Therefore, Prabhupada is saying that uh, Prabhupada is speaking in the purport, uh, the Pankajangri. Lord accept the Archa Vigraha, his transcendental form, in different elements, namely a form within the mind, a form made of wood, a form made of earth, a form made of metal, a form made of jewel, a form made of paint, a form drawn on sand, etc. All such forms of the Lord are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, and there should be a soothing atmosphere in the temple of worship to attract the burning attention of the non-devotees always engaged in material wranglings. So here the point is, anyone who comes in contact with the Supreme Lord, they actually attains peace because people are always being disturbed. They are because of their engagement in this material world. So by taking shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, which is resembling the Pada Padma, his lotus feet is also the lotus flower. So in that way, we get relief from the sufferings of this material world. Therefore, even when we go to the temple, the process of looking at the deity form is explained by Prabhupada here. He says, one should begin to see the Lord from his lotus feet, gradually rising to the thighs, waist, chest, and face. One should not try to look at the face of the Lord without being accustomed to seeing the lotus feet of the Lord. Srimati Kunti, because of her being the aunt of the Lord, did not begin to see the Lord from the lotus feet, because the Lord might feel ashamed. And thus, Kunti Devi, just to save a painful situation for the Lord, began to see the Lord just above his lotus feet, that is from the waist of the Lord, gradually rising to the face and then down to the lotus feet. And around, everything there is in order. So here, Kunti Maharani, she doesn't want to put Krishna to an awkward situation because still she feels Krishna is junior to me. I am Krishna's aunt. How can I start with his lotus feet? So that's why. But anyway, Kunti Maharani, she knows perfectly well that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in that way, while remembering the favor awarded to the Pandavas, Kunti Maharani, she is speaking the next two verses while remembering the favors given to them by Krishna. Yatha rishikesha khalena devaki kamsena ruddhati chiram sucharpita vimochitaham cha sahatmaja vibho Tvaiva nathena muhur vipadgana. Kunti Maharani is saying, Jatha Rishikesha. When she says Rishikesh, she means that you know what I desire. Rishikesh. Ishiko means senses. Isa means one controller of the senses. It means one of the senses are mind. So she said, no, you know what is going on in me, in my mind. O Rishikesh, master of the senses, the Lord of the Lords, you have released your mother, Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by the envious king Kamsa, and me and my children from a series of constant dangers. Actually, when Kunti Maharani recites this verse, she is trying to compare her good fortune than that of Krishna's mother Devaki. She is saying, Rishikesh Khalena Devaki Kamsen Ruddhati Chiram Sucharvita. Kunti Maharani is saying, Krishna, you were in Vrindavan, in the house of Nanda Maharaj. And you were enjoying your pastime. You didn't bother about your mother who was for a long time imprisoned in the prison house of Kamsa. Huh? Right? You took long time to release her. And that too, only once. Okay. And not only that, she's saying that whenever there was problem in my life, you did not only just come and protected me from the danger only once, but many times. Vimochitancha. And when you, even after a long time, released your mother from the prison house of Kamsa, you only released her. You didn't protect her children. We know The 6 sons were killed by Kamsa, and Krishna did not protect them. But Kunti Mahani is saying, Sahatmaja Vibho, you are all pervading, and you rescued me along with my children. Huh? And she's saying that when Devaki was imprisoned, that time Vasudeva was with her. So she had a protector. I didn't have anyone to protect me. My husband was not there. And you are my Natha. She was Sanatha, I was Anatha. And you were my Natha, protector. And she is saying, when you took long time to release Mother Devaki from the imprisonment, but in case of me, eh, immediately actually, you kind of released me. So in that way, she's speaking about that Krishna has shown more favor to her. That's what Prabhupada is writing. Kunti Devi was shown far more favor because Lord Krishna did not save the other children of Devaki, whereas he saved the children of Kunti Devi. This was done because Devaki's husband Vasudeva was living, whereas Kunti was a widow. And there was none to help her except Krishna. The conclusion is that Krishna endows more favor to a devotee who is in greater danger. Sometimes he puts his pure devotees in such dangers because in that condition of helplessness, the devotee becomes more attached to the Lord. The more the attachment is, therefore, the Lord, the more success is there for the devotee. I don't know how the devotees can take it. Sometimes Prabhupada's purports are very strong. Well, we can, read it out and we can also discuss. But when it comes to really, in our personal life, how do you face the difficulties? Even though Prabhupada is saying that one who is faced with the greater danger, he becomes the greater recipient of Lord's mercy. Uh, that means when we are in helpless condition, one supposed to become more attached to the Lord. But honestly speaking, we can judge from our personal life when we are faced with some troubles in our life. Is it so that helpless condition, that helplessness condition, is bringing us closer to the Lord? Are we getting more attached to the Lord? Or we are trying to fault find with the devotees, we are trying to fault find with the situation, or sometimes we even try to blame the Lord. I have been doing this service, devotional service for so many years, my dear Lord, and you still put me into such kind of difficulties. But actually, that's all. That means our devotion to the Lord has not come to a point where we are exclusively dependent on Him. So, the fact is that those who are not advanced in Krishna consciousness, they will not be able to see the Lord's hand through the difficult situations. But anyway, Kunti Maharani is highly connected with Krishna. That's how she is able to see Lord's hand. That's how now she's counting the different dangers they had to face and how Krishna came and protected them. In text number 24, she says, Vishan Mahagne Purushad Darshanat Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Kritsata Mridhe Mridhene Kamaharataskrata Draunyastrataschaśma Hare Virakshita. Vishan Mahagne, Vishan. As you know from the Mahabharata story, Bhima, he likes to eat. Uh, and once upon a time, this Duryodhana was very much envious of Bhima. And he always wanted to kind of kill him. And he made an arrangement when all the Pandavas and the Kaurava children, I want to say the sons of Dhritarashtra and sons of Pandu, they came on the bank of Jamuna and they were playing. And it so happened that Bhima, he brought a cake, poison. Actually, he was trying to poison Bhima. He brought a poison cake and fed Bhima. And then when Bhima became unconscious, they put him into the Jamuna. And then that's how he was thinking now Bhima is dead. But what happened? Bhima, while floating in the waters of Jamuna, he came to Nagaloka. And when the Naga, they started biting Bhima, and Bhima regained his consciousness because the poison which was spreading in his body was counteracted by the poison that came to his body by the biting of the snakes. So in that way, when he came back to life, he took snakes and he started beating these snakes with the snakes. So that's how all the snakes became afraid of his Bhima. They went back and reported to the head that there is a very strange human being has appeared in our place and who doesn't bother about us. When we are biting him, he became even more strong. And he started catching us and started beating us. Then Vasuki said, okay, go and bring him without causing any harm to him. And when Bhima came, then he was given royal treatment there because he was related to the Nanaji who was sitting there. And what happened? Then finally, Bhimsen was given the boon that you can drink as many kunda. The nectar is here because every kunda had the potency of 1,000 elephants strength. That means if you can drink the nectar from one kunda, you'll get the strength of 1,000 elephant. So in that way, he actually drank 10 kundas. And that's how he got 10,000 elephants strength in his body. And he was again sent back to the shore of Jamuna with royal reception. So in that way, Bhima's life was saved. But anyway, Krishna actually protected. Even though Duryodhana wanted to kill him, but still Bhimsen was saved. Mahagne, when they were sent to live in this house which was made of lac, and the plan was to burn the house so that the Pandavas will die. And it so happened that one night, one lady was living in the jungle lady. She came with 5 of her children and she was staying in the baranda. And on that night, the Pandava, they came together, they did a Ishtagoshti. And they decided that definitely if we continue to live in this house, one day this misfortune is going to come. That Dhritarashtra has planned to burn us in this house. Who knows when they're going to burn this house? Because the day when the Pandavas were leaving Hastinapur, Vidura had informed Yudhishthira Maharaj. He spoke in a different language, which Yudhishthira Maharaj could understand. Not everybody could understand. This message was very clear to Yudhishthira. So now they plan to escape from that log house and burn it. So they, Bhima, actually there was an escape route from the underground. And Bhima, he took Mother Queen Kunti and his brothers with his head and shoulder hand, and he was carrying them through the tunnel. Bhima alone could carry everybody, and before leaving, they just set fire to the house and they escaped. And because this lady, this jungle lady with her children was there on the veranda, so they were all burned to ashes. So the next day when they came, the Kauravas, they found that there are only 6 dead bodies found. Then they understood, along with Kunti, now they are all dead. But they didn't know that they have been escaped. And see, Vishal Mahagne, Purusada Darshana, when they were living in the forest, jungle, Hidimba, the demon who attacked, who is a man-eater demon, who attacked them, but Bhima fought with the demon, and finally, actually, Krishna saved himself. So, in that way, Asat Sabhaya, when the Kaurava party were attempting to disrobe Draupadi, that time Krishna actually protected her by supplying saris. And when they were in the jungle, this famous pastime when Durvasa Rishi was sent willfully by Duryodhana. Duryodhana said, "My dear Rishi, you have been coming to our house and receiving the atithya. You come to our house as our guest and we feed you, and then you bless us. So I request you, one day you should go to our brother's house who are living in the forest and you give your blessing to them as well. But one request that you go to their house after Kunti Devi has finished eating. Because Kunti Devi had a pot which is called Akshay Patra. And this Akshay Patra, Akshay means there is no limit. Before Kunti Maharani finished eating, any number of people come, she can feed them by using this pot. So Duryodhana was a cunning fellow. So he wanted to ensure that when Durvasa Muni would go with his disciples to their house when Draupadi Maharani has finished eating, that time they will not be able to serve Durvasa Muni with his disciple, and that is how they will be cursed and they will suffer. See, this is the cunning nature of a person. But anyway, they did so. Sorry, he told Durvasa Muni to go to Yudhishthir's house. But it so happened that when this Durvasa Muni came, and Maharaj Yudhishthir, he greeted Yudhishthir Maharaj, Durvasa Muni along with his 10,000 disciples. Yudhishthir, Durvasa Muni always used to travel with 10,000 disciples. So when he came, then Yudhishthir Maharaj, he greeted him nicely. And then it was just noontime, around noontime. And Yudhishthir Maharaj said, okay, now you can have prasadam here. And then Durvasa Muni said, well, let us go take bath, and after we take bath, we finish taking bath, then we'll come back and have your prasadam. Okay, you get everything ready. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj went inside and spoke to Draupadi. Draupadi, have you finished eating? She said, what happened? Now Durvasa Muni has come with 10,000 disciples, we have to feed them. And Draupadi said, oh, I have finished eating. So what to do now? It's a big danger now. Then Draupadi said, well, only Krishna can save us. So Draupadi started remembering Krishna. As Draupadi remembered Krishna, Krishna appeared on the scene. And when Krishna came, before Draupadi started speaking anything, Krishna said, Draupadi, Draupadi, I am very hungry. Please feed me something. She said, what? See, we are now in one danger. You are, putting us in another danger. You are adding to the danger. Huh? Why are you doing this? Krishna said, I don't understand what your danger is. I'm very hungry. You first feed me, then only we can talk. Okay? She said, Baba, there is nothing to give you. Try to understand, Krishna. Why are you behaving like this? Krishna said, no, I'm asking you, just bring your pot. She said, I have finished eating. She said, no, go and bring the pot. I want to see if there is anything. I'm very hungry. As you know, when Krishna, he deals with his devotees, it's really bewildering. If Krishna's Maya can be bewildering just like us, right? When we are bewildered by Maya, we can't see anything. So similarly, when Krishna wants to bewilder his devotees, they can't see anything. So Draupadi, she could not even understood. She couldn't understand why Krishna is speaking like this. Definitely, Krishna has a plan, and being so instructed by Krishna, Draupadi went inside and she brought that Akshay Patra. And as she presented it to Krishna, then Krishna said, see, look, there is a piece of spinach stuck in the pot. Okay, give me that. So Draupadi gave that. And Krishna ate. And Krishna was fully satisfied. Krishna was fully satisfied by taking the spinach. As you know, Krishna is in the heart of every living entity. When Krishna is satisfied, everybody will automatically become satisfied. So these sages, headed by Dasa Muni, they went to take bath, and they were thinking, now after taking bath, we will go and take prasadam. But in the meantime, when Krishna is satisfied, they all felt like their belly is also full up to the neck. And while taking bath, they started looking at each other. It looks like, if we go to Yudhishthira Maharaj's house, we'll not be able to eat anything because our belly is full now. And then they were thinking, in the meantime, if we don't go, when Maharaj has prepared so many food items for us and we cannot eat anything, this is not good. So what to do? Then they made a plan that better we should escape from here. We should not go to his house. And in the meantime, Krishna told Bhima, Bhima, take the club on your shoulder and go to bring them from the river. Draupadi said, Krishna, what are you doing? Krishna said, don't worry. I know what I am doing. Bhima, you just take your club and go to invite them. And then Bhima, he took the club on his shoulder, and as he was approaching the place where they were taking bath, these rishis, they could see from distant place, Bhima is coming with a club. So they thought, well, it's very difficult to escape Bhima. If we go now, we cannot eat. That means Bhima is going to beat us. Better leave. Now we should not go with him there anyway. So the point is here, Krishna sometimes make a fun with his devotees. He proved that, I am here. You don't have to worry about anything. Krishna saved them. So in that way, Kunti Maharani, she is kind of, counting these different dangers when they were saved. And then finally, she is Damyas Tapaschasma Harevi Rakshita. Just now, forget about the dangers. From the dangers, you have rescued us. But at present, this son in the womb of Uttara was attacked by the Brahmastra weapon of the son of Dronacharya, Ashwatthama. And you just now rescued the baby in the womb of Uttara. So, by speaking like this, Kunti Maharani is saying that you are the only protector for us at all time. But then she is saying that if Krishna says, my dear aunt, you are speaking, you have been facing so many troubles, so many difficulties, dangers, that means I should be there always to kind of remove the fear from you. This is what you are expecting? No. Kunti Maharani, being a devotee, her mood is she is trying to see the merciful protection of Krishna. She is not desiring that Krishna should be there to remove the difficulties in my life. And like we when we face with some troubles, we expect that Krishna to come and protect us. Krishna should remove the difficulties from our life. But here, Kunti Maharani's mood is different. Vipadaha santuta sasvat tatra tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam jatsyat apnar bhavadarshanam. She is saying that let all the calamities come again and again upon us. Why? When these calamities are there, then we can seek shelter at a lotus feet. We will get your mercy. When we take darshan of your lotus feet, then we will never come back to take birth in the material world again. So the point here is she is trying to make is that Srila Sridhar Swami is saying Bhagavat Smarana Virodhi Sampat Paramparato. Sometimes we come across a situation where our life becomes very joyful. Normally in the material world, when people improve their material situation, they feel that is a happy moment. For example, a person, he starts the business today, and then if business is running nicely tomorrow, in a month after month, the profit is increasing. It's like a parampara, right? He started the business with $1,000, and then it's increasing. He is feeling very, very happy, very satisfied, right? But here he's saying, Bhagavat Smarana Virodhi. If such kind of material opulence makes a man forget the Supreme Lord, it is not good. He's saying, Bhagavat Darshanakari Vipat Parampara. Even if there is series of difficulties coming and which is helping us to remember the Supreme Lord, just like Prabhupada said in the previous purport, that such calamities helps one to get more attached to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. That means in the midst of the difficulties, the devotee takes exclusive shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Such kind of series of difficulties, dangers are better than living in a comfortable situation in the material world, which makes us forget about the personality of God. That is what she is saying. Why? Bhavato darshanam jatsyat apnar bhava darshanam. When we face with the difficulties, and if we take shelter of the Supreme Lord, that is when our coming to this material world is stopped. Therefore, Prabhupada is giving very nice purport to this verse. He is saying that generally the distressed, the needy, the intelligent, and the inquisitive who have performed some pious activities worship or begin to worship the Lord. Others who are thriving on misdeeds only, regardless of status, cannot approach the Supreme due to being misled by the illusory energy. Therefore, for a pious person, if there is some calamity, there is no other alternative than to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Constantly remembering the lotus feet of the Lord means preparing for liberation from birth and death. Therefore, even though there are so-called calamities, they are welcome because they give us an opportunity to remember the Lord, which means liberation. Again, this calamity gives us an opportunity to remember, to take shelter, or you can say to strengthen our connection with the Lord, which ultimately helps us to gain liberation. The duty of the sane person, therefore, is to be undisturbed by worldly calamities, which are sure to happen in all circumstances. Suffering all sorts of unavoidable misfortunes, one should make progress in spiritual realization because that is the mission of human life. The spirit soul is transcendental to all material calamities. Therefore, the so-called calamities are called false. A man may see a tiger swallowing him in a dream, and he may cry for this calamity. Actually, there is no tiger and there is no suffering. It is simply a case of dreams. In the same way, all calamities of life are said to be dreams. If someone is lucky enough to get in contact with the Lord by devotional service, it is all gain. Contact with the Lord by any one of the 9 devotional services is always a forward step on the path going back to Godhead. Um, Prabhupada is speaking from his realization that even the difficulties, the trouble, the calamities we face in this world are like dream. In dream, neither there is real substance, but there is just simply conception of the status. For example, somebody sees in the dream a tiger is chasing the person. The tiger is not there, but the conception of fear is there. Right? The conception of fear is there. When he wakes up, even that conception of fear is eradicated. So that is what this world is. The conception of feeling happy by coming in contact with some material object, or the conception of being unhappy when we are in calamitous condition is the dream. When we are awakened, means when we take shelter of the Supreme Lord, the lotus feet of the Lord, that means when we are always in devotional service. That is the state of awakening. And when we are awakened, that time, the conceptions of material life, which is giving us happiness or distress, will gradually subside. That happens like this. To the degree we take shelter of the Supreme Lord, to that degree, this will subside. The happiness and distress of this world, the experiences of happiness and distress in this world will subside. But the problem is, we are not able to experience that because our level of Krishna consciousness is not very high. We are not yet fully devoted to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. We are not closely, we are not actually sincerely dedicated to execute the devotional service. Therefore, we are not able to realize that this world is a dream world. This is actually a dream world. This material world is the dream. What is happening? Atra tri sargam resha dhamna svena sadanirasta kuhakam satyam param dhimai. Right? Atra tri sarga. Whatever is happening here in this world, it is happening due to the interaction of the 3 modes of the material nature, sattva, raja, and tama. And they are all material. But when we see our relationship with the Lord, that time by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, we may realize the dream nature of this world. Therefore, Kunti Mahani is saying that Bhagavata darshanam jasyat apnar bhavadarsanam. So she continues that text number 26. She says, Sampadastu siya paribandhinya. Yeah, means the opulence in the material world are adverse to the ultimate good. That means the different elements, different material elements in this world, which brings us happiness in the material platform, are actually adversary to the attainment of the ultimate good. Therefore, she says, Janmaishwarya Sruta Sri Redhamana Madapuman Naivarhatya Vidhatum Vaitamakinchana Gocharam. My dear, my Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feelings. Naivarhatya vidhatum. This is a very important verse that when we chant the holy name of the Lord, you can also understand this, that not all the time our chanting is on the same platform. I mean to say, sometimes you see when you are in some difficult situation, you sincerely chant, you pray to the Lord with feeling. And when you are in a very comfortable situation, comfortable environment, everything in material way, you are kind of, well situated, well settled, that time your quality of prayer, your chanting is not coming to that degree of feeling as you felt when you are in kind of trouble, some situation, right? So that is what Kunti Maharani is trying to tell us, that Naivarti Avidhatumbai. Some people they tell, oh Govinda. Okay, now let us understand this. Govinda. What is the meaning of Govinda? Or Rishikesh, for example. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Jivana Haila says, Na Bhajile Rishikesh. Do we really go into the deeper meaning of this verse, understanding that, he is the master of the senses. Actually, he can help me to get rid of my attachment to the material objects. You are really Rishikesh, my dear Lord. If I don't serve you, if I am not engaging myself in your service, then my life is wasted. Do we have that kind of feeling when we are praying, when we are singing this song? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Am I feelingly chanting this holy name that I want to serve my dear Lord? Huh? No, that's what he's saying, that those who have these kind of four opulences, high parentage, Janma, Aishwarya, lot of opulence, Sruta, he is very learned, and Sri, his bodily features are very beautiful. What happened? These kind of opulences makes us forget about love, or you can say such kind of situations does not allow us to utter the name of the Lord with feeling. Therefore, she is saying that a helpless man can feelingly utter the holy name of the Lord, whereas a man who utters the same holy name in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. A materially bhakti person may utter the holy name of the Lord occasionally, but he is incapable of uttering the name in quality. Therefore, the four principles of material advancement, namely high parentage, good wealth, high education, and attractive body, are, so to speak, disqualifications for progress on the path of spiritual advancement. Hmm? So that means, Prabhupada down the line, Prabhupada says, sometimes it is seen that spiritually advanced persons become materially impoverished. This is no discouragement. On the other hand, such impoverishment is a good sign as much as the falling of temperature is a good sign. The principle of life should be to decrease the degree of material intoxication, which leads one to be more and more illusioned about the aim of life. Grossly illusioned persons are quite unfit for entrance into the kingdom of God. So here, when she is saying that those who are akinchana means materially impoverished, means they don't have any wealth except the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord becomes the wealth of the materially impoverished. That's why sometimes when we go to the village area in preaching, we can see very clearly these poor people in the village, they are in a better consciousness. I mean to say, the way they chant, the way they take care of the sadhus when the sadhu visit their house, and whatever devotional service they do with sincere feeling. And Lord actually becomes very pleased with such kind of devotional service. So here the point is, Tvam akinchana gochara, those who are impoverished. Prabhupada is speaking about that is like, increase of the temperature means in the material life. Everybody is trying to increase the temperature here. That is not a good sign. That's not a healthy condition. The healthy condition is you maintain your low temperature. We are not saying that you don't earn money, you don't live in a comfortable house. Here the message is, whether in the midst of this material opulent life, I am connecting myself with the Lord with feeling, or because of these material surroundings, I am not coming to Lord with feeling. That is the message we have to take it from here. That's why now she is saying that Tam akinchana gochara. This point have been explained further that in the next verse, text number 27, she just praying to the Lord that, my dear Lord, you keep me in such a situation where you remain my wealth. I don't want anything else. That's what she is saying. Prasuta Manoratha Puranaya Punah Pranamati. She is thinking that, my dear Lord, you bless me so that I can always remain connected with you. Namo kinchana vittaya nivritta gunavittaye atmaramaya santaya kaivalya pataye namaha. So she is saying, my obeisances are unto you, who are the property of the materially impoverished. You have nothing to do with the actions and reactions of the material moods of nature. You are self-satisfied, and therefore you are the most gentle and are master of the monists. So, Namo Akinchana Vidyaya. So here, Siddharsam he says, Akinchana Bhakta eva Vittam Sarvasvam Jasya Tasmai. Actually, Krishna accepts materially impoverished devotees as his wealth. Right? See, for Krishna, his devotees who are materially impoverished, they become his wealth. Huh? Why? Diyamanam na grindanti binamat sevanandana. Why Krishna likes to keep them as his wealth by his side? Salokya sastri samipya sarapya kattamapyuta diyamanam na grindanti binamat sevanandana. These devotees who are materially impoverished, even if they are awarded with these liberations, 4 liberations, Salukya, Sasti, Samipya, and Salupya, still they do not accept it. That is what is very much pleasing to the Lord. Not that you keep on harassing the Lord just to help you improve in your material life. That is what Lord does not like. He will definitely take care. But our duty is to just serve him. That's why Akinchana Bhaktas are his property. Tatakin. So, what is that? Nibritta guna vrittayo dharmartha kama visaya jasmat tasmai. In this world, normally people are very much attached to improve their material conditioning in terms of dharma, artha, kama. But such devotees, they're actually fully engrossed in Krishna conscious activities. That's why their mind is not going away. Mind is not going outwards. What is happening? Like normally you have seen in case of our devotees, maybe they are living in big cities, they are working or they are doing business. You can see that they don't, practically speaking, they don't have any time to think of anything outside of Krishna consciousness. That is what Kunti Mahani is trying to tell us. They are Atmarama, they are self-satisfied. So here actually satisfied means, Atmaram means also, Atma also another meaning of Atma is like, the Paramatma or Krishna. He is the Atma of all Atmas. When we try to serve him, that means we cannot see anything else. Like we have seen many devotees in their life, they are so busy with their personal duty and service to the deity at home that practically speaking, they don't have time for anything else in the world. In that consciousness, the devotee's mind is not going outward. That's why I'm saying, Tatkuta Santaya, Ragadi Rahitaya. Means raga, this avidya, asmita, raga, dvesa, avinivesh. Avidya. What is avidya? That is which is not connected with Krishna, that is avidya. And from avidya comes asmita, aham mameti, me and mine conception. Then from asmita comes raga, dvesh, attachment, hatred, and avinivesh, even more craving for the objects, for sense gratification. Then what happens? We are going away from Krishna. But these devotees are Santa, means neither they have avidya, means they know Krishna is the only object in their life. Serving Krishna is the only goal of their life. And then there is no question of me and mine. Whatever we do as a servant, as a result of which there is no attachment to temporary material world, nor do they feel dejected when somebody mistreats them, and they are not very much possessive about the material things. So they are very peaceful. And In that way, when these devotees, they sincerely take shelter of Krishna, then Krishna awards them Kaivalya. That's why he says Kaivalya Prataya. What is Kaivalya? For a jnani, Kaivalya may be taken as annihilating his existence in this world and becoming one with the Brahman. But actually that is not Kaivalya. You cannot become one with the Supreme. You can actually attain Kaivalya when you gain devotional service. Mukti hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthiti. Anyatha rupam hitva swarupena vyavasthiti. What is anyatha rupam? Our identification with this material world is giving us a false designation that you are this, you are that. You are doctor, you are engineer, you are husband, you are wife. Anyatha rupam hitva, swarupena vyavasthiti. And when you are fully engaged in the service, you have a vidya, there is no raga, there is no asmita, there is no vinivesha. Then what happens? You are santa, peaceful, happy in serving Krishna. So that is when Krishna awards his lotus feet to such a devotee. That's why he is Kaivalyapati. Prabhupada giving the example, our Goswamis, they were in Vrindavan. Even before going to Vrindavan, before they took shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially Rupa and Sanatan, they were serving as the finance minister and chief minister in Nawab Hussain Shah's office, right? Even Raghunath Das Goswami was the son of a jamindar. On those days, his father's yearly income was 20 lakh gold coin. Can you imagine? 20 lakh gold coin. 100,000 gold coin. Okay. What a rich person his father was. He's son of such a rich man. I don't know if we have anyone in this class who is, his father is rich like Raghunath Das Goswami's father. And what he did, he just gave up all these opulences and he took shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sanatana Goswami, right? When he was in Vrindavan, he had a touchstone. Touchstone has the capacity to turn a piece of iron into gold. And here in the Bengal, there was a devotee of Lord Shiva, and who was praying to Lord Shiva. He was harassing Lord Shiva practically, that give me some opulence. Then Lord Shiva said, Lord appeared to him in dream. He said, go to Vrindavan, go to Sanatana Goswami. He has the treasure to give to you. When he came to Vrindavan and met with Sanatana, Sanatana Goswami said, oh, go and, find in the garbage tank, there is a piece of stone, take it. That is touchstone. This man was very happy. He went and he actually found in the garbage tank, there was a touchstone, and he took it and he was leaving. And while leaving, he was thinking, if this man can keep touchstone in an abundant place, then how much wealth he must be having. Actually, this is not the real wealth. Have you ever seen people keeping their wealth in the garbage tank? No, nobody keeps it, right? Real wealth they keep in the house somewhere, hidden. So this man is thinking, now this man has actually cheated me. Sanatana Goswami has cheated me. He didn't give me real wealth. Well, let me go back and find out what is the real wealth. And when he came back, and Sanatana Goswami said, oh, you want real wealth? Okay, I can give you. First you go and throw this stone to Jamuna and come to me, then only I will give you the real wealth. What is that real wealth? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This man came and he gave him Akinchana Vittaya, Nibritta Gunavitta, Akinchana Vitta. This is the Vitta, this is the wealth of a materially impoverished man. So, therefore, Prabhupada is saying advancement of material vision or material civilization is a great stumbling block for spiritual advancement. Such material advancement entangles the living being in the bondage of a material body, followed by all sorts of material miseries. Such material advancement is called anartha, or things not wanted. Down the line, he says, the material disease is due to hankering after and loading it over material nature. This hankering is due to an introduction of the three modes of nature. And neither the Lord nor the devotees have attachment for such false enjoyment. Therefore, the Lord and the devotees are called Nibritta Gunavritti. Nibritti Gunavritti. It's a very important point here. You see, whatever we see in this world, this material object, they are the transformation of these Gunavrittis. Three modes, the introduction of the three modes, right? That's why Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Trivi Gunamayr Bhavir Evi Sarvamidam Jagat Mohitam Navi Janati Mamebhya Paramabhya. Everybody is infatuated by the transformations, the objects which are coming to us due to the transformations of the three modes. And we are identifying with all these objects. And we are puzzled, we are illusioned. That's why Krishna is saying that Mohitam Navijana. Because they are illusioned, that's why they don't know. So Nibritti Gunavritta means the objects what we see, whatever you see, the new objects are being created in factories today. What is this? This is just transformation of this three modes. Sattaguna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna. That's it. And he's saying, sadhus, they don't identify with these others. The devotees, therefore, the Lord and the devotees are called Nibritta Gunavritti. The perfect Nibritta Gunavritti is the Supreme Lord because he never becomes attracted by the modes of material nature. Whereas the living beings have such a tendency, some of them are entrapped by the illusory attraction of the material nature. Because the Lord is the property of the devotees, and the devotees are the property of the Lord reciprocally, the devotees are certainly transcendental to the modes of material nature. That is a natural conclusion. Such annular devotees are distinct from the mixed devotees who approach the Lord for mitigation of miseries and poverty or because of inquisitiveness and speculation. The annular devotees and the Lord are transcendentally attached to one another. For others, the Lord has nothing to reciprocate, and therefore he is called Atmarami, self-satisfied. Self-satisfied as he is the master of all monists who seek to merge into the existence of the Lord. Such monists merge within the personal effulgence of the Lord called Brahmajyoti, but the devotees enter into the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, which are never to be misunderstood as material. So in that way, the devotee of the Lord is not infatuated by the objects of this material world, which is produced because of the interaction of the three modes. Therefore, they are always peaceful Santaya. And Kaivalyapati, Lord Krishna, he averts them his lotus feet. That's how they become satisfied. So starting with text number 28, Jiva Goswami is giving a very beautiful comment that Lord is like this, means Lord becomes the property of his devotees and devotees become the property of the Supreme Lord. Can you see such a beautiful uh, interaction, or you can say exchange, the relationship between devotee and the Supreme Lord? And this is how when Krishna becomes the property of the devotee or the devotee becomes the property of the Lord, that time how the Lord reciprocates with his devotees, that remains a mystery for most of the people in this world. That's how people are not able to kind of see the Supreme Lord as he is, rather being confused by the illusory representation of the personality of Godhead, they try to see Krishna differently and find faults with him. But that's why Jiva Goswami is saying, Satu eva, Satu tava, Sukha bhava, Tarka agochara, eva ityaha. In next four verses, according to Jiva Goswami, is saying that your sharing in happiness is beyond reasoning. Means when Krishna, he descends in this world, assuming the form of a human being or even in any other species of life as an incarnation, what kind of happiness he shares with his devotees, that cannot be estimated just by material calculation or just by reasoning. No, that has to be seen through devotion. So that is a deeper meaning, deeper understanding. This is Jiva Goswami is writing in a meditative mood. That's how she is saying that your sharing in happiness with the devotees is beyond reasoning. So that we will see in the next class, starting with text number 28. Thank you very much. Maybe we can now take questions from the devotees. If you have any question or comment, we can look into that. Sahadev Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Good to have you back. Hare Krishna. And my obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji. When you were speaking, I had lots of questions, but you also answered lots of the questions I had.
Okay.
So it's very interesting. But my question, I think, is that Uttara prayed to Krishna for Krishna to protect her baby. She did not pray for herself. Prayed for her baby.
Yeah.
My question is, did Krishna protect the baby because of Maharaj Parikshit being a devotee of Krishna, or Krishna protected the baby because it was Uttara who was praying for the baby to be protected? In other words, if someone is an evil person, but a devotee of the Lord prays for that evil person or whomever that person may be to be protected, would Krishna protect such a person?
You mean to say, if a devotee prays for an evil man, whether Krishna is going to respond to the prayers and protect the evil person or not, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Very tricky and interesting question you are asking, Sahadev Prabhu. I hope you should be there in the Krishna's lotus feet to understand what Krishna wants to do. Anyway, to kind of give a response to your question. In first place, definitely he says no. Mad anyat tena jananti naham tebhyam anagapi. Krishna does not know anything but his devotee, and his devotee does not know anything but Krishna. So in that way, if Maharaj Parikshit is a devotee of Lord Krishna, it is Krishna's duty to protect him. And same way, Uttara is also a devotee of Lord Krishna. Madanyatena jananti. There were other members in her family. Gandhidhari Arjun is there. Bhima is there. Now, why she did not go to them? My devotee, they don't know anybody but me. Then what Krishna is going to do? So in that case, Uttara is a devotee, Parikshit Maharaj is a devotee. Krishna has to respond to them. So he has responded both, in both the ways. Okay, now coming back to your point, that if a devotee, prays to the Lord for a wrongdoer, whether the Lord is going to kind of, give him protection or not. My dear sir, try to understand this. A devotee, he understands his Lord very well. And a devotee, a true devotee, never tries to live at the cost of the Supreme Lord, because he just simply wants to serve the Lord. Therefore, you have seen in our devotee world, when we pray to the Lord, we say, my dear Lord, if you so desire, a devotee can pray to the Lord, but we have no right to interfere with Lord's plan. And a devotee never tries, because we are his servant. We are here to serve, not that we are here to take service from him. We can pray to him to serve him. Devotee is praying, my dear Lord, when will that day come? You will ask me to thank you in such and such way. Okay, that's a good DJ. You can pray to him like that. Somebody leaves his body. What do you pray? Okay, my dear Lord, may you grant him the deserved destination at your lotus feet, or whatever he deserves. Not that you dictate the Lord, my dear Lord, you protect him, or do this for him, do that for him. No, Lord is, whatever he does for all good. That we are convinced about, we know it. How he wants to protect somebody? By killing somebody, he also protects. By saving someone, that also he protects. Right? Whether Krishna kills someone, that is also protection. And he saves someone, that is also protection. So in that way, that when a devotee prays to the Lord, there's a specific significance behind the prayer, and how the devotee is praying, that has to be seen. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.